One of the top crypto gaming chains in the space undoubtedly has to be Ronin Network, boasting the highest DAU numbers in the entire crypto gaming space. They're a strong one, and they've got some strong games. So today, for the first time ever, we're going to be making a Ronin Network games tier list. We all love tier lists, let's be honest. I've played or seen all of these games, and so who better than me to go ahead and give you that information. If you enjoy this kind of content, as always, like and subscribe. We're going to be doing it from S to the B tier because I don't think any of the games fall below that. And then we're going to have one final tier where we just haven't gotten enough details for me to even make a rating. If you are interested, by the way, we now have an official newsletter for me. I love it. Crypto gaming, here we go. Axie Infinity featured on here as well. So if you're big into the Axie stuff, if you're big into other stuff as well, you don't want to miss out. Feel free to go ahead, subscribe, link in the description. Thank you so much, and let's get right into it. So the first game is Aion. Aion is a god game. It has some rogue-like features. The TLDR of it all is you have an avatar. It's called a planet as well, and you have apostles, which if you've ever watched the movie Minions, they're the minions. That's exactly what they are. You've got skills that you can use. You've got some skill shots. You've got all kinds of little quirks and gadgets that you can use to try to best your opponents. They have a PvE feature, which you're seeing right now, as well as a PvP feature. They're actually doing airdrops right now with their Anima token, which is very cool. So check that out as well. And they're a pretty damn strong game. I actually talked to this team before they were on the Ronin Network. And to be honest with you, I've always been excited about Aion. I don't see it as an S tier game yet. It's not carrying the entire chain, but this is an A+. This definitely is top of the A tier. So the next game has to be Pixels Online. Pixels Online entered the Ronin Network sometime in September. And ever since, they went from a couple thousand DAU to what is now massive. I mean, they are huge, 170,000 DAU every single day. A simple little farming game. Who knew that would be the game to do it, huh? In Web3. To be honest, let's be honest, hyper casual games, they are getting crazy adoption. They have already done the first 2 seasons of their Pixels airdrop. Seems like that's going to be that little gem token over there that maybe is their governance token. I don't really know too much about it, but there's a lot of hype on Win Pixel. And so just because of the fact that they're the biggest game on Ronin right now, they've been the most sustainable for the longest time, I'm going to be putting them on the S tier. So there's that. Battle Bears. Now, I've also spoken to this team before they entered the Ronin Network. I will tell you that they're one of the teams that have benefited a lot from being on the Ronin Network with Sky Mavis helping them out and everything in between. Their game, to be honest with you, reminds me a lot of Thetan Arena and some of these more intense, competitive shooter games on mobile. You could see some gameplay here with esports players playing Battle Bears. This is their Battle Royale component. I played a lot of their team deathmatch as well. I like their game a lot. I really like their game. It hasn't launched just yet, but it's getting very close to that day, so I'm looking forward to that day. And with that being said, I'm putting them on the A tier. Now, the next game, by the way, shout out to Kagi for the gameplay here. This is Axid Infinity Culinary Wars. Reminds me a lot of Overcooked. Recently played that with the girlfriend, so vivid memory on it. Very similar. I really like the aesthetic on it. And so no complaints here personally. You can play with your friends. You just do some cooking, go all over the place, panic as time runs out, and you go from there. I think that this is probably going to be more of a mini game than anything, so we're probably going to put it at the B tier, but it's nice to see that the community's building out things with community grants and making more things happen with the Axie Infinity IP, so we're going to be putting that on the B tier. The next game is Axid Doll, which Axid Doll is one of the first, no, it's not even one of the first, it was the first community grant game that I had ever played at the time. I still remember when we did like little Twitter giveaways about the little shields that you had to use to play the game. And it was one of the only use cases for my Axies. So pretty awesome stuff there. I actually like these games. These are the little endless games where once you kill enough monsters, you level up, get new features. you have to pick specific axes to get specific abilities, so I really like that component of it all. It gives a lot of utility to axes within the Axie Infinity IP, so I really like this game. I think this game deserves a lot more attention that it has gotten, and so I'm going to leave this at the lower end of the A tier, and we will continue from there. Now, the next one is Bold.io. Now, this one's an interesting one because when I was doing research on it, I saw that they were, powered by the Ronin network. If you look at their socials right now, they are more of a cricket app, which I'm not a big cricket guy, I'll be honest with you. They have a lot of downloads though, which I've got to respect. It seems like a lot of their player base is from what seems to be India, which is always cool. I think cricket is really big in Southeast Asian countries, so very bullish on that. I think I'm going to put them on the B tier because I don't understand a lot of it, but I do see the need for having something like that. Now, the next one is Axid Champions. Now, Axid Champions looks good. It looks really good. This is one of those sleeper games that I just learned about that look really solid. It's just your standard, 3-match game. Then you've got, the auto battler part of it all. And that's pretty much it. It reminds me a lot of Dragon Strike from Gala Games, if you've ever played that. This reminds me a lot of it. You have stages, you get rewards, upgrade your guys, continue going from there. I don't think that this is the concept that is going to get millions of downloads because I think it's a very dated concept, but I do think that the game performs very well. So for what they have, they've done a very good job with the niche that they're working in. So the next one is Tripesters. Now, Tripesters is also a proud Ronin network partner. They recently announced their light paper, but they don't really have any gameplay just yet. This game is trying to do pretty much the whole, you've got a story, you discover this specific place, you have these little NFTs, and then you fight with them. I'm going to leave them on the not enough details place because I just don't know enough about them, but I am looking forward to them. So the next one is what looks like, for me, Axie Infinity Homeland. Now, this started a couple days ago. Now, Axie Infinity Homeland has technically been around for a long time, but they've had a lot of different iterations for this. This is the brand new iteration for it, and this caused a lot of FUD on Twitter because people were just not digging the art. They were just not digging the art. Some people are saying that there was complacency over on Axie's side. I don't think the game is that bad. I really don't think it's that bad. Is it incredible? Am I excited for it? Not really, which might be why everybody in Axie is upset about it. It doesn't really make me feel, yeah, this has to be S tier. It really makes me feel like, oh, it's pretty average, to be honest with you. So we'll see what ends up coming from this, but I imagine they're going to continue to update this. So maybe one day it'll be S tier, but for now, it's just going to be a B tier for me. Next one is Axie Infinity Origins. We all know about this one if you've ever been part of the Ronin ecosystem. It is a trading card game. Everybody back in the day, the Scholar story was incredible. You have your cards, you have an energy system. If you've ever played most trading card games, you'll understand how this works. Tons of buffs, tons of different things. The way I think about Origins is it feels like a bit of an RNG fest. Trading card games historically have been kind of like RNG fest, especially Axie Classic. That one is even more of an RNG fest, which is not necessarily a bad thing depending on if you're a more casual player or not. Rounds tend to last a little bit too long, so definitely not an S tier product, but it really did shape up our space, so it would be hard to put anything lower than A tier. Would I play it at an A tier? I'd probably rather play games like Culinary Wars over Origins, so maybe we'll actually put it on the B tier for now. So the next one is the Machines Arena. Now, the Machines Arena is one of my favorite games on the Ronin network. They have a lot of bugs in their game, so this is still very in active development, but this is my favorite genre, multiplayer online battle arenas. MOBAs is the short end of it. You have characters, they have abilities, you have objectives. It reminds me a lot of payloads from certain other games. I really like the flow of it all, and I'm sure that they have a product that can really penetrate the traditional gaming space if they continue to do it right and get the esports component going. So this is a game I'm very excited for. I'm going to be putting this also on the A tier, probably Oh my god, people are not going to like me for this, but I'm going to be putting it at the top of the A tier because of my bias toward MOBAs. I would rather play the Machines Arena. It is what it is. Next one we have is Project T. Now, Project T is the comparison that people have with Axie Infinity Homelands. In my opinion, I do think that Project T, it's probably not the most necessary project in the world. It's kind of random with what they're doing. I do think that Project T could be sleeper, though. I really think it could be sleeper. A lot of people are sleeping on what Project T is. You can utilize Axies for different things. If you've ever thought of Power World with the Axie Infinity IP, then you should be thinking about Project T. It doesn't look amazing right now because it's still very early on, but give it a year or two, and this very well could be an S-tier project. But for now, I will be leaving this one at the top of the B tier. Next one and last one is going to be Wild Forest, which Wild Forest, why can't I find gameplay for this one? Wild Forest, I actually like as well. I think Wild Forest has kind of done things right in the sense that they're doing something kind of unique. If you look at the gameplay, you go against someone else, and you have to build up your base around them with troops that have certain levels. Reminds me a lot of Clash Royale in that aspect, but no, this is a very unique aspect of gameplay where you stand on specific things with troops, get the thing, level it up, upgrade it, and try to kill the other person. Very simple. I like the concept for Wild Forest. This is one that could get millions of downloads as well, and is not one you want to sleep on, to be honest with you. I really like what Wild Forest is doing, and I hope that more people recognize this game because this is an A-tier game for me as well. I'm going to be putting this above Axid Doll, in my opinion, and so this is going to be my tier list. I'm very happy with this tier list. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section in regards to all this. I think the Ronin Network, it's going to continue to show its strength in this crypto gaming bull run. And until the next time, stay classy. And that's all.